decisions. In Jesus' name we ask it.
Alrighty, moving forward, with the, reading the minutes. Sonia, would you like to?
Should we do roll call first?
Oh, yeah, good point. Roll call, please.
All right, I'm here. Brandon is absent. Hang on, I gotta do this. Brandon, Mike, and Paul. So we got Don
Here.
here, Daniel,
Here.
Doug.
Yeah. Okay. I can settle down, apologize for my tardiness. Let's move forward with the, December meeting minutes.
Sorry to interrupt. We did approve the November ones because we had to make corrections and have those as well, just so you know.
Yes, I see them right here. Let's go ahead and get December out of the way,
All right.
please.
All right,
Can you do that?
for our meeting on December the 16th, the meeting was called to order by Brandon Jones at 6 p.m. The prayer and pledge was also led by Mr. Jones. Members present: Jones, Griffin, Bollier, Fisher, Dodson. Members absent: Whitaker and Quick. Prior monthly minutes, the minutes from 11/21/25 regular monthly board meeting were read and motion made to suspend the approval of these minutes until corrections can be made by Griffin. I think they ended up being made by Jones, but anyway. Seconded by Fisher, all approved, motion passed. Minutes from the special call board meeting from 11/25/25 were read and motion made to approve by Griffin. To accept with one correction, seconded by Fisher, approved by all, motion passed. Treasurer's report, Bollier reviewed the financial dashboard through November 2025. Motion to approve, report by Fisher and seconded by Dotson. All approved, motion passed. Chief's report was presented by Chief Doyle. Emergency runs 105, Lakeview 98, Abernathy 7. That made a year-to-date, which also ended the calendar year, or no, we'll do that tonight, sorry. Year-to-date, Lakeview Fire was 1,048, year-to-date Abernathy 91, year-to-date total 1,139. One member completed HMAO.
As an apparatus operator, I think.
That sounds right. Engine 1303 had new tires. Fire recovery income 15301. We are live on the new reporting, first two software. No committee reports. Under communication, well, no communications under old business. Fisher asked about the current water situation at Station 2. Chief Doyle said he was waiting on the water company to contact him back for a meeting. Billing for residential dues is over halfway. Fire district borderlines policy was presented and read at length by Griffin and approved by Fisher. Motion made by Jones to add wording in concurrence with board directors to page 2, line 2, bullet 1. Seconded by Fisher. All approved, motion passed. Griffin made the motion to adopt resolution 2025-1216-1. Seconded by Bollier. All approved, motion passed. Santa ride will be December 18th, 2025, starting at 5 p.m. Discussion was tabled about 1305 ladder truck until later in the new year. Under new business, Chief Doyle presented that there's a roof leak at Station 2 and some shingles and weather stripping are missing in several places. Member Jones stated that he would call our insurance agent tomorrow and see what coverages we have. Motion made by Fisher, adjournment. Motion made by Fisher, seconded by Griffin to adjourn the meeting at 6:52 p.m. Motion passed.
We'll entertain a motion to approve these minutes, or are there any corrections?
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion on the table.
Never mind.
Motion and a second. The motion is by Sonia, second by Mr. Dodson. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes. Ms. Sonia, would you like to read the
I will.
November minutes?
Didn't leave a spot to put my stuff, so I write it on there. Okay, meeting called to order, by Brandon at 6:01. Pledge and prayer was Brandon. Members present, Sonia, Paul, Brandon, Mike, Doug, Daniel was absent. Prior minutes read by Sonia, motion to accept and read by Paul Quick, second by Mike Fisher, approved by all. Treasurer's report, Doug, reviewed the financial dashboard through October 2025, motion to accept as read by Mike, second by Paul, approved by all. 2025 annual minutes read by Sonia, motion to accept, as corrected by Paul, and second by Brandon, approved by all. Chief's report, presented by Chief Doyle, he had 94 emergency runs, 83 Lakeview, Abernathy 11, year-to-date Lakeview 950, year-to-date Abernathy 84, year-to-date total calls 1,034. Training, began training personnel on new reporting software, no truck maintenance, received 625 47 from fire recovery, expected live date on first due on December the 1st. The $2,500 fund request from the county commission was approved. The check is being mailed to us. No committee reports, no communication reports. Old business, the results of the dues increase vote are still pending. Special call meeting is scheduled for 11/25/25 to announce the result. Brandon made a motion to appoint Don Dodson to the open board seat. Mike Fisher seconded the motion, approved by all. New business, Santa will be riding the fire truck on December 19th. More details to follow. Dues increase will begin with the 2026 cycle. The board reviewed the draft employee agreements for Martha McFarland, Catherine Armstrong, and Chief Doles. Mike Fisher made a motion to accept said agreements, second by Brandon, approved by all. Martha McFarland administered the oath of office to Don. Mike Fisher made a motion to adjourn, second by Paul, approved by all, adjourned at 6:54.
We have a motion to accept these minutes.
So moved. I'll second.
A motion and a second, any discussion or corrections? Motion was by Don, the second was by Doug, all in favor? Motion carries. Mr. Bollier, would you please provide the financial report, anything of note?
I'll go over nothing in particular of note, but checking, we started the month with 25,650.61. We ended with 42,82.34. Savings, we began with 40,077.52, and we got interest, so we ended at 40,082.57. Total revenue was 44,341.94. We had a good month for fire dues, which I mean that time of year is to be expected. Pretty good month for donations, just over 2,700. Got 687 fire recovery. A good month in hazmat fees as well, 1664.13. And recovery.
That's business office fees, not hazmat.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Yeah, I should have known. And we had the recovery delinquent dues were still holding in there with 35,3101. Under expenses for the month was 27,910.21. For office expenses, it was high because that's when we finished paying out the election expenses. And truck maintenance was 2,164.26, but as noted in the November meeting, we got tires, is what we spent money on, but as mentioned in the November meeting minutes, the county gave us $2,500 to cover that, so it's on here as an expense, but in the grand scheme of things, it really didn't cost us.
Okay. Any questions? Moving on. Chief's report,
We got fire chief McFarland.
yeah, Fire Chief McFarland, go ahead and.
Emergency runs were 100, Lakeview 94, Abernathy 6, year-to-date Lakeview 1142, year-to-date Abernathy 97, year-to-date total calls 1239. Training, finalizing the 2026 training schedule on truck maintenance 1303, had a exhaust leak repaired. And on fire recovery, we got 687.
Fantastic, such that she can. Does the board have any questions for Martha regarding the chief's report?
Good job, Mark.
Any committee reports? Not sure why we have special orders on here, but
I don't know, I'll take it off for future.
let's see here, no old business, anybody?
Well, there's nothing on there, but I forgot something quickly. I didn't think about it till it was too late. The new roof did get put on Station 2 yesterday. It looks great. They only had to replace 5 of the boards, and by the grace of God, we had very, 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 very minimal damage to the spray foam. Tyler said it's such a small amount, we could go get a can of spray foam and fix it ourselves. So that was a blessing that didn't mess me up. The only thing is some of that like fascia, like on the outside up in the eaves or whatever.
Soffit one?
Soffit. I don't know that that's been done, but the roof for sure was done yesterday.
I think they were pretty steady.
We do, also, well, we finished on that one? Sorry, I didn't mean to bulldoze that.
Well, I was done. I don't know if this may be what you're about to say, but it did end up getting covered by insurance. The board does that, but just for the public. So it only cost us our fire $500 deductible. So $500 roof on that big old building.
Not bad, not
Is
bad,
that new business
especially.
or old business?
Oh, because we do have some additional, information. This will be coming down the chain. It is almost certain that we are not gonna be able to tie Station 2 into the city's septic system.
Is this old business?
Yes, this will be all business. It is almost certain that we may have some situation where we could potentially have our own tank and kind of somewhat share field lines. Obviously, there's some maintenance concerns there, we always knew about that, but the major thing is that with some of the things that the city's doing, the way they've designed the changes to the cart barn and the storm shelter with making it a multi-use building, there are some serious concerns that we can even tie onto it. Also having to do with the expense of having to run a line. Basically, see if I can put a visual here. If this is the property, you got the town septic tank and this is Station 2. Basically, you have to run this all the way over here, put it in the tanks and go back into these field lines. So there's easements that have to be done and other things of that nature that may be of concern. So we need to, just to be ahead of it in case, we may be hollering before we're bit, but we need to look into the expense of putting it and seeing if it's even possible for us to put a tank on our side. And then we are also gonna need to look and see what it would look like to tie Station 2 to the sewer. Because we should have sewer access there as well. But it's increasingly looking like we are not gonna be able to tie Station 2 to the city's septic system.
I kind of figured when they decided to build that safer, and that was going to be the end result for us, unfortunately.
A lot of it has to do with the way they did the safe room. They went from just a safe room to like a full-on multi-use building with a kitchen and, multiple bathrooms and that sort of thing in it. And, they also, like I said, this is mainly, secondary conversations and workshop conversations. So there's also some considerations involving what kind of easements would be needed, who's responsible for maintenance. We're running a fire station 24/7. They've got a multi-use business building that maybe gets used once or twice a month. Town hall is only being used a short period of time, 4 days a week, that sort of thing. So we may want to just go ahead and be prepared that hooking to the sewer or trying to find some way to squeeze our own tank on our own property might be a situation we got to deal with. But that is all I have. Anybody else have old business or comment for? Okay, new business. The district IT resources. Long and short of it is that we kind of need to just move on to what is both from a liability standpoint and just from a professional, just to do things professionally the way they're supposed to be done. we need to strongly consider moving all back-end IT management and whatnot to a third party, a professional IT management company. It can be done inexpensively, probably for around the same as what we're doing right now as far as our cost to cover our IT resources. But you've got a situation where it spaces out liability. If we've got breaches and that sort of thing, you've got a company that we pay for that security that can help mitigate some of that risk. It's also a professional, so that IT support problems become a phone call, and then a phone call later that says, hey, I fixed everything, as opposed to it being something that eats up district resources on things they should not be wasted on. But does the board have any other discussion on that? Doug, do you have anything on that? I know you've been involved.
Two things. Brent, I guess one of the things that started the conversation, Brandon talked to some of the IT people at the fire college, and they had recommended a company that does that. And they also work with Google Workspace, I guess would be the way to do that. They offer it, but obviously we already have it, so we're not gonna pay them for it. But he did some online discussions with them. We haven't done any like real discussions with them. We were kind of waiting to get board direction. But I mean, they would host a website and do all the back end security stuff and keep the connections and whatever. We mentioned Catherine did a great job with a cheat sheet. Google Workspace is currently donated because we're a nonprofit. It gives a cloud storage of 2 terabytes, so there's like collaborative workspaces and drives. I know this is not necessarily the right terminology, but I look at it as basically used as a file server. That's all our files, or not all, a lot of our files that we can share and whatnot. Email for 150 users, enhanced security of the accounts, cloud-based accessibility from anywhere. You know, we don't have to have like a traditional network. Lakeview currently uses a legacy package. If we were to go out and try to do that today, we probably wouldn't get it. And then every volunteer or employee and board member of the district has their own account. The current web hosting and domain through WordPress, we pay $480 for 2 years. We have a little bit of a discount because we did the 2 years, so basically $240 a year, and we're paid up for 1 more year. I don't believe that we want to wait that year. As of right now, their advertised cost, if we were to renew today, they would be $300. And from what I've seen on that DreamHost, the company that Brendan taught, we could be less than that.
So that'd be great anyway. Would that be migrating us away from WordPress? Because to be perfectly honest, I mean, WordPress is an archaic and
well,
most of the internet is WordPress, but it's terrible.
It can be. One of the things they offer is that they can move your WordPress to them to host, but we don't necessarily have to use WordPress. I'm not personally a fan of WordPress. It doesn't sound like you are, and Catherine and I had some discussions. I don't think anybody's a fan of it, so we can, I guess, look at options. And some of the features that are available on the current plan are no longer offered. And if we were to stay till May 2027, the plan will probably change and prices probably go up again. And then the lakeviewfire.org domain is, we just pay $19 a year for that. It's currently hosted through WordPress.
Which that's easy enough to transfer this. I would think we would just want to go, to be honest, we should just go with whatever the recommendations or whatever IT company we choose to go with, or let them run what they think is best for what we do, best and least expensive. But and that is at the board's pleasure. My personal My personal opinion is that we should interview, have a few members of the board interview with a handful of IT companies and then make a recommendation and move forward. Who do we need to put in charge of that?
Not me, I'm not IT tech. I nominate Doug. And you got more IT, a lot more IT
I
than
mean, you and I
than
are,
I do. I don't know what y'all.
for lack of a better description, kinda in the middle of it all at the moment, so.
I would recommend that we have a committee of Brandon, interview no less than two, no more than four companies. Come back to the board recommendation.
Entertain a motion to that effect? A motion, do I have a second?
Do I second my recommendation?
Oh, yeah, I think she made the motion.
Okay.
I have a motion and a second on the table. Any further discussion? The motion is to have Brandon Jones, Daniel Griffin, and Doug Bollier interview a minimum of 2 and no more than 4 IT companies to take over the management of the domain and website for Lakeview Fire. Any further discussion?
Is that the email?
Yeah, all IT. No further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, anything else?
Nothing on the agenda,
Off the agenda?
well, I don't know if, we have some guests tonight, and one of them is in his Boy Scout attire, so I didn't know if he wanted to speak or if he's here just to observe, or.
We're almost to public input.
Sorry.
Is there anything else from the board? Okay, public input, who we got out here who wants to say something?
So he is simply here to observe. And so he's working on a merit badge for citizenship in the community. And one of the requirements is to attend a public meeting, and observe. And then this Saturday, he will actually attend Merit Badge College. And there's a whole list of requirements that go along with it, and so they will work on those requirements at Merit Badge College. And so this will fulfill his public meeting, attending that, so.
You also got to double your merit badge for a board.
You did good coming on the.
Excited to
business
start
side.
here,
Talk a
Dennis.
lot.
Any questions?
Any further input from the board or from the public? Okay, with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting. Have a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Don and Sonia, all in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 6:45 PM. Thank you for coming out, folks.